Hey, what's up guys? The DJI Pocket 4 Pro vlog kit just dropped in China, and because it should be hitting our local stores very soon, this is an early unboxing preview to show you exactly what's in the box and help you figure out if it's the right camera for you. There's a lot to cover because the kit comes loaded with accessories, so let's get straight into it. This is the vlog kit, the loaded version with all the extras, and the one I'll compare it to is the Insta360 Luna Ultra. In China, the vlog kit comes in at about $600 and the standard kit without all the extras costs a little less. And once you actually open it up, the first things you find are the handle, the wireless mic and the little stand, then a fill light, the viewfinder remote, and of course the Pocket 4 Pro body itself, which honestly is already a lot more than you'd get in the box with a Pocket 3 or the standard Pocket 4. And that's kind of the whole appeal here, because instead of buying a camera and then slowly adding accessories over the next few months, you get pretty much everything you need to start vlogging in one box. And just to be clear, this kit version uses exactly the same camera as the standard one. There's a small bag that only really fits the body on its own, but then there's this much bigger carrying case that comes with the vlog kit and that one swallows basically everything. The camera, the mic, the handle, all of it together in one place. Pretty much everything in here mounts magnetically, and the first accessory worth pointing out is the fill light. There's also this dragon patterned handle that clips onto the camera. And real quick, if you're enjoying the video, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel. Next up is this little remote with its own screen, which DJI calls the viewfinder remote. And it's actually one of the more interesting pieces in the kit. You pair it to the camera and then you can monitor your shot and control everything from a distance. So for solo stuff, where the camera's set up across the room, you're not running back and forth just to check your framing. There's also a mini tripod in here that pairs with the handle and a separate cover for the microphone. Small things, but it's nice that you don't have to go and buy them separately later on. You also get this fuzzy yellow windscreen, which is what kills wind noise when you're filming outside, and a little magnetic clip that lets you attach the mic to your shirt without any fuss. The wireless mic itself is a DJI Mic Mini 2, and it just snaps straight on with the windscreen popping over the top. And because it's the same mic system DJI already uses across its other cameras, you know, the audio side is going to be reliable. The mic pairs with the camera automatically as soon as you power it on, which is exactly what you want when you're moving quickly. And one thing worth flagging, from what I've seen, the Luna Ultra doesn't actually include a wireless mic in the box. So that's a real extra you're getting here that you'd otherwise have to pay for. The rest of what's in here is mostly wrist straps and a handful of cables. This one's worth paying attention to though, because the viewfinder remote charges through these little contact points rather than a normal port. So it's not just a standard USB-C cable you can grab from anywhere. Okay, so while we're going through all these cables, let me set up the bigger comparison properly, because this is really the decision most people are weighing up right now. The Luna Ultra is Insta360's first ever pocket camera, and they've brought in Leica to co-engineer the lenses, which is a serious move for a first attempt. But DJI is already on its fourth pocket, so what you're getting here is a camera with years of refinement behind it. The tracking, the menus, the stabilization, all the stuff that usually takes a few generations to really nail. And honestly, that gap, first generation versus fourth, tends to matter way more in everyday use than any single number on a spec sheet. Back to the cables for a second. One of these is for the remote. This thicker one charges the camera itself, and as usual with DJI these days, there's no wall charger in the box, so you'll be using a plug you already own. And just a small heads up, if you plan on carrying both the remote and the mic with you, that's 2 extra charging cables you'll need to remember on top of the camera's own. But alright, enough about cables. Let's finally get to the part everyone actually cares about, which is the camera itself. And straight away you can see the headline feature, those two lenses on the front, because that second lens is really what makes this the Pro version. The front lens actually twists off, so you can swap on a wide-angle adapter or an ND filter, and there are these two little contact points that let the camera automatically recognize the official accessories you attach. That filter sits right over the 1-inch sensor, and it cuts the light coming in by about a quarter, which is handy when you're shooting in bright conditions. Now, on the lenses, both cameras pair a 1-inch main sensor with a telephoto, but DJI's telephoto sensor is actually a touch bigger than the Luna's. It's also got around 100 gigs of storage built into the body, which is a big deal, because the Luna Ultra only gives you about 47, and that's one less memory card to worry about failing. A single tap takes you straight to 3x zoom, and the nice thing is it stays really stable even when you're zoomed in, which isn't always a given on something this small. Double tap and you jump to 6x, and even up there the closest focusing distance is only about 10 centimeters, so you can get surprisingly close to your subject. And if you just hold the zoom button down, it keeps pushing in further from there. On zoom, DJI gives you 3x optical, while the Luna's 6x lossless zoom reaches a bit further. But DJI answers back with 17 stops of dynamic range against 14. It tops out at 12x in total, and honestly the detail holds up better than I expected for a camera this size. One tap brings you back down to 1x, and from there this button flips the camera around to selfie mode, which is obviously the one you live in if you're vlogging yourself or talking to camera most of the time. A quick tap flips it over to the front camera instantly, and this is genuinely where a gimbal like this pulls ahead of just shooting handheld on your phone, because it keeps you centered and tracked the whole time. So you can actually move around, walk and talk, do whatever you're doing without constantly stopping to check whether you're still in the frame. And that's the kind of thing that makes you keep filming instead of giving up on a shot. So that covers the camera on its own, but really the accessories are the whole reason this particular kit exists. So let's start putting some of them on. Starting with the fill light, you just plug it straight onto the camera, and the moment it's attached, it lights up on its own. From there you can dial the brightness up and down, and this button shifts the color temperature from cool to warm depending on the look you're going for. Now, one small thing that did annoy me a little, if your phone's already connected to the camera, you can't connect the viewfinder remote at the same time, so it's kind of one or the other, and I'd love to see that fixed down the line. Another difference from the Luna, there the screen itself pops right off, while here it's this separate remote. When you're reviewing your footage, it locks the gimbal in place, and you'll actually hear a little click as it secures. And that wireless mic I mentioned, the DJI Mic Mini 2, the connection on it is rock solid, because the moment you power it on, it just pairs with the camera almost instantly. No menus, no fuss. Now this part isn't a battery grip, it's just a threaded handle, but you can screw the little stand onto it, and there's a USB-C to USB-C port down at the bottom. It unlocks with a single press, and then the whole thing stands up nice and steady on its own, working pretty much the same way as the older Osmo handle did. With it set up like this, the gimbal tilts up and down through a really good range. Now, on actually getting hold of one, in China it's out right now, and internationally it looks like it rolls out around the 29th to 30th of June, so basically any day from now. The US though is a more complicated story, and I'll come back to exactly why in a moment. One thing to watch with the gimbal is that it pans further to the right than it does to the left, where there's a hard stop, so it's just something to keep in mind when you're setting up a shot. There are built-in mics on here as well, one on the side and one on the front. Though realistically, if you've got the wireless mic from the kit, those built-in ones matter a lot less. So who's it actually for? I'd say the Pocket 4 Pro makes the most sense if you want the most proven tracking, the mic already in the box, that big internal storage. One thing to note, if you live in the United States, new DJI products were banned back in December by the FCC, so DJI can't sell the Pocket 4 or the 4 Pro in the country, but you can still find it through other stores like Amazon, and I'll leave the links in the description if you're interested. An alternative is the Insta360 Luna Ultra, which is already available worldwide. There's a video up here where I compare these two cameras. Or the DJI rebranded version, the Extra Muse 2 Pro, which is currently on pre-order. That's the Pocket 4 Pro Vlog kit, guys. So are you going for the Pocket 4 Pro or the Luna Ultra? Let me know in the comments. In the next video, I'll compare the footage from the Pocket 4 Pro against the Insta360 Luna Ultra in different scenarios. So subscribe if you don't want to miss it, and I'll see you in the next one.